Hi, my name is Heather Brooks, and I'm the wife of Dr. Chris Brooks, the founder of Lifeline Malawi. Recently, we were in Malawi for the month of May. During that time, we had the privilege of hosting a team from Trinity Western University. They arrived on May 7th, and there was 4 nurses, nursing students, and 2 pre-med, one of which was a pre-pharmacist student. We immediately drove to the clinic, passing through Salima. And the next day we started our orientation, where the team had opportunities to spend time in different departments, orienting themselves to things like the pharmacy and the lab. They spent time in the outpatients department, and just also in the maternity, which is always a great treat to be there with the babies. It really makes your day spending time there. And the first afternoon, we went on a walkabout in the village just to orient the team to the village that lives, the Chilimbula village near us. As you can see, we were surrounded constantly by children. Wherever you go, there is always these happy children following us. By the time we were walking back to the clinic along the lakeshore, we had hundreds of children following us. Here's a delightful little girl, probably aged maybe 6 or 7, with a baby on her back, a very common occurrence in Malawi. In the following days, the team spent time in the different departments in maternity, outpatients. They spent time having Chichewa lessons, listening to our clinical officer, Charles, consult with the patients. They were able to spend time here with the Under 5 clinic and participate in helping to measure the children to see if they were healthy or at risk. And of course, there's the HIV/AIDS counseling and testing, which was a real eye-opener for most of the students. The afternoon program was one of the highlights of the team's visit. They spent time twice a week with after-school program, always running games and activities, giving health talks. Here they are playing British Bulldog this afternoon. And there's Chloe playing with children, and this is morning devotions. Every morning we have morning devotions where the team had opportunity to share. Then there was time to just relax and enjoy each other, have team meetings under the branches of beautiful trees on our campus. And then there is also the team, the adult teams at Lifeline Malawi. We have a women's netball and also a men's soccer team. And this is the property behind our clinic. Here we have games almost every afternoon. Some youth, some adult games, and a lot of tournaments on the weekends. And of course, there's children, and always children. This is a game that the local children taught the team. It's a crazy game. Never quite understood it myself, but it looks like fun. On the weekends, it's not that busy in the clinic, but there is the emergency department, and the team helped out counting pills and preparing for other things and just helping along. Here we were on a walk near the clinic. And then of course on Sunday we went to enjoy worship at the local church. Here the team was able to sing a worship song and just enjoyed fellowshipping and worshiping with the local community. Chris, of course, loves to share, and here he is sharing a message, and it's being translated by Justin. Chris is very animated and is quite amusing, and the people really enjoy his messages that he gives. It was harvest time, and some of our staff on the campus were harvesting maize, and the team had an opportunity to find out what it's actually like to harvest maize, and it's pretty difficult. We celebrated birthdays of the team. We celebrated sunrises over the lake every morning. And we had a great time with Pierre and Joy LaRue at their fish farm, just hearing about their vision for Malawi, and they live just down the lake from the clinic, and just being involved in their lives. There's time for relaxing on our veranda of the mission house. The next week, we had an opportunity to go to a HIV/AIDS support group. And when you're at any of these events, there's always singing, dancing, dramas, and messages. And we are very thankful to all the chiefs and their support that they give Lifeline Malawi, and just feel very positive about these events getting together. Another day, about 1,000 people arrived at the clinic. They were part of a community group that had come to visit and give thanks to Lifeline Malawi. They had a loudspeaker, and we spent most of the afternoon dancing with them. And part of the time they visited and brought presents, soap to our patients. It was a real blessing to see them really participate. And of course, there was always program when it comes to these events, and Chris got a chance to give a little talk to everyone and encourage the people of the community. Later that afternoon, we finalized the deal that we were buying the property behind the house, and it was not like what you do in Canada. You just walk around the property and dig holes, and that's where your property is, and here's the family that sold us the property, and a representative from the chief. And the next weekend, the end of that week, we went on safari. Here we are on safari, saw lots of animals, enjoyed time at the lodge, eating delicious food, and the next morning going on a boat safari and seeing elephants and all sorts of animals and birds, and just really getting to know each other in a different environment. Here we are, on the boat, and we saw a family of elephants, which we were able to get quite close to and take great pictures of. Coming back, I saw this beautiful sunset that I could not resist taking a picture of. And of course, the team was constantly building relationships with a young lady from the youth, and Nicole, one of the team leaders, really built a great relationship with this young lady. Sunday again, we were at church, and of course enjoying the music. And then on Sunday afternoons, we have a Christian fellowship that people from the community and the pastors of the community come and take part in. It takes place in our waiting room of our clinic, and so it's a great opportunity just to share our faith and our desire to serve God, and just our desire to see other people come to know Jesus. We went and visited the local district hospital. And we also visited with Indi Moyo, a palliative care facility in Salima that assists us and that we are part of their program. Here's a great picture of all our staff one morning. We're privileged to have the team there together with them. And here's a little picture of an insect that we find at our mission house. And then another afternoon we were off doing an outreach clinic for under fives, where we measure the children and weigh them, measure them, find if they're in good health, see if they're vulnerable in any way. We also test for malaria if people think they're sick, and give drugs for that, and do some family planning, and we also give vaccinations to children and to adults if they need them. And of course, there's always time for the children. Here's Rylan teaching the kids something really goofy, and they just love that, and they were really happy to just, again, be played with, and it just shows how much we value them. we had an opportunity to go to another support group for people living with HIV/AIDS, and this one they're singing a song that is about how important it is to get tested, and we love to see the dramas and hear the songs, and we know that they are performing these at any community events and just really encouraging people. This is Boston, who wrote a poem for Lifeline Malawi to give thanks to Lifeline Malawi for helping him to be better. And this man has had a stroke and he's HIV positive, and he's just so thankful to Lifeline Malawi. And it really reminded me of how these people are praying that God will help them, and how God has called us to do this and to help these people. And here I am just hanging out with a child at the clinic, and here I am with Trinus, one of our nurses. And yet again, another sunrise picture. I cannot resist, sorry. I think I'm addicted. And here we have a young mother who I was able to give a Polaroid picture to because, her husband was away studying and he wasn't going to see the newborn for 2 months. And so I was really blessed to be able to do that. And thank you, Orient Charities, for giving me that camera. And this is our mission house. And these are our lovely guards, 2 of our lovely guards. And one of their names is Garrison. I think it's a great name for a guard. Great uniforms. And this is our maize mill. And this is what the maize looks like when it's ground into flour. And the maize mill is a great community gathering spot while people wait to have their maize ground into flour. And this is our brand new extended facility for our pharmacy. We added another room to it, and Ruben is our pharmacist, is showing off this. He's so happy to have this new expansion. And now here I must share with you our values. Our values are very much part of what we do at Lifeline Malawi, and we integrate them into a lot of the things that we do to emphasize to staff and the people around us what values we share. The last weekend we were able to spend time at our community housing area where we some of our six houses for our staff, and we just hung out, played games with them, and just enjoyed learning about their culture. Here's Emma carrying a baby on her back, and just really enjoying hanging out and just relaxing with them for the afternoon. On Sunday morning of our last weekend, these ladies were able to deliver these beautiful twins, and we're so excited to be part of that. And then, of course, later on, we were at church again and enjoying the local music. The music always tells a story. These ladies are telling a story of how hard they work, but how thankful they are to God. Every evening we were able to invite people for dinner from our staff, and this is a great opportunity for us to spend time with staff and to really enjoy building relationships with them. And then finally it was our last day and last sunset, last opportunities to take the photos of the sunrise, and and then off to morning devotions and our final goodbyes with everybody. And it was really sad saying goodbye because people had made deep relationships with some of the staff. And here's Justice and Christian and Rylan, comrades, and just really enjoying these last moments together. Emma with Trinus. And we were very sad leaving. We cried when we drove away because we'd left people behind crying on the campus. We spent a couple of days in the Longway at our house and just getting ready to go. It was rather cold there. We were all covered with blankets most of the evenings, but we just sort of hung out and enjoyed the final days together and rested up before it was time for them to go on May 30th. And then there was time for Chris and I to enjoy our garden and to do a little bit more work and just have final days together. And then it was time for us to say goodbye again. And so we thank you to everybody for watching this, and thank you for all your support and all you do for Lifeline Malawi. And may God bless you.